At 2:13 a.m., their senior lawyer called me. His voice was shaking. That's how I knew Apex Dynamics had just made a catastrophic mistake. I'm telling this story because it proves something terrifyingly simple. Most companies don't lose lawsuits because they're evil. They lose because they forget their own rules. And if you stay until the end, you'll see how one missing document turned a routine termination into a $3.9 million settlement and exposed an entire system. The question is this: how did signing their own termination papers give me all the power? They fired me at 4:47 p.m. on a Wednesday. No warning, no discussion. Just a conference room, an HR director, and a new COO who never looked me in the eye. Consistent performance deficiencies, he said. I asked for specifics. None were given. They slid a termination package across the table and waited while I read. So I did. Every page, every clause, all 28 pages. The severance was average. The NDA was standard. But something was missing, and they didn't realize I was the person who would notice. I signed every page, initialed every line, collected my things, and walked out. That night, the documents sat on my dining table. Page 9, Section 7, Subsection C, a clause I had written myself 4 years earlier when I redesigned Apex's HR policies. It said this: performance-based terminations must include all performance improvement plans and documentation as Appendix B. Must, not should. I checked again. No appendix, no PIP, no documentation, which meant only two things were possible. Either my termination wasn't performance-based, or Apex had violated its own policy. At 2:13 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number, Boston area code. I let it ring 7 times. Miss Holt, please tell me you haven't signed those documents. The voice belonged to Apex's senior legal counsel. It was shaking. I signed exactly what you gave me, I said calmly. You might want to check Section 7, Subsection C. Silence. Then whispers. Papers moving. Someone cursed in the background. You didn't receive any appendices, he asked. No, I replied, which means either your termination letter is false or your agreement is invalid. I paused. Either way, we'll be seeing each other in court. I hung up. Quick pause. If you like stories where paperwork beats power, hit like or subscribe. This gets much worse for them. By morning, they were panicking. Emails, requests to revise documents, an invitation to meet. They wanted to add performance documentation after firing me. At the meeting, their outside counsel slid 4 documents across the table. Generic accusations, no dates, no metrics. Then I noticed something. One document was signed by a manager who had left the company 5 months earlier. I looked up. He couldn't possibly evaluate my recent performance, I said. The room went quiet. That's when I knew this wasn't sloppy. It was fabricated. We filed suit, and discovery exposed the truth. Internal emails showed executives openly discussing how to fire me to cut costs. One email read, Marin Holt, $280,000 salary, top of list. What's the cleanest termination path? Another replied, performance termination requires PIPs. We don't have them. The response? Can we create documentation retroactively? That email alone turned the case nuclear. The judge denied their motion to dismiss. Depositions were coming. A jury was inevitable. That's when Apex folded. They settled. $3,900,000. Written admission of policy violation. No confidentiality clause. An independent audit followed. 17 other employees had been fired the same way. Apex paid millions more. Their COO resigned. HR was rebuilt from scratch. All because they forgot one appendix. If you want the next story, where one email cost a company $11 million. Watch the video on screen right now.